So I'm going to talk to you tonight about two different scenarios. One is the Golden State Warriors, and one is a friend of mine named Kelly. So the Golden State Warriors were the laughing stock of the NBA for almost 2 decades. And all of a sudden, a new businessman came along, a self-made billionaire. His name was Jacob Lamb. He bought the Golden State Warriors. And during his first season as owner, during halftime of one of the games, he came out and he spoke, just like I'm speaking to you guys. And he told all the fans, he said, it's a new day and it's a new time. He said, I'm going to change the culture. I'm going to bring winning back to Golden State. I'm going to do this for the city, the fans, and for everybody. You guys deserve it. So people were like, yeah, okay, you're trying to sell tickets, same old. But no, he was serious. So what he did was he needed to build a team to win, just like he did in the corporate world. So what he did was he found a young gentleman to be his general manager and to lead his franchise. This man's name was Bob Myers. He was an analytics guy, but besides being an analytics guy, he was very charismatic, had a big personality, and was a people person. So with this man in place, he had someone that had the same vision as him. What this gentleman did was he went out and searched for a coach that could also be a like-minded individual that bring the same family-like tight atmosphere that they wanted to create, this culture. So a lot of people knew who Steve Kerr was from his playing days, won championships with the Bulls and the San Antonio Spurs, but he had never been a head coach before. But Bob Myers took the chance on him because when he interviewed him, Steve Kerr said, I want to be different. I want to bring a hard-nosed defensive approach, and I want to bring the old-school ball movement, selfless basketball back to the NBA like the Showtime Lakers days. So it started with the new owner, the new GM, and the new coach. I'm going to tell you about my friend Kelly. So everyone knows who Time Warner is. They were bought out by Spectrum. And the first year that Spectrum bought them, it was almost like a civil war in the company. You had the old versus the new. It was infighting, nobody was getting along, and they had all these issues going on. They couldn't get it right. So they brought in my friend Kelly, and what she did was she formed an idea of how she could bring everybody together on one team. So what she did was she started paying attention to how everything was going. And she paid attention to the 12 different leaders, and she realized that a lot of the old school ones really relied on this one particular person. And a lot of the new school Spectrum people really relied on one of the new schools. She took those two that were the main ones that got relied on, brought them together and said, I want you two to be my left and my right arm. I want the three of us to be a team. Tell me how we can fix this, how we can change things, and how we can bring everybody together as one unit. So they gave her all the ideas and things that they could use and the strategies that they could come up with. But not only that, she said that she was going to make a team, and she did. Once every 2 weeks, she would meet with her leadership group, and they would read books, and they would talk about the things they learned in those books. Then once a month, they would go out to dinner together and get to know each other, form a family-like atmosphere, because she knew she had to get them first. And once she got the leadership together, then she could get the rest of the team together. So let's go back to the Golden State Warriors again. So now they have their owner, they have their general manager, they have their coach. So they wanted everybody to be on the same page. So they knew that they needed players, and not just regular players, not just selfish, me players. So what they do, they wanted to change the culture. They went out and drafted Steph Curry. His father played in the NBA, came from a good family. They knew what they was getting. They drafted Michael Thompson. His father played in the NBA. With those same Lakers I mentioned earlier, they knew what they was getting. They drafted Draymond Green, a 4-year starter and defensive captain for Michigan State that was known for being a defensive player and a team captain and a leader. Then they went out on free agency and signed Sean Livingston, a point guard that was a pass first, spread the ball around, get everybody involved. And then they spent the big money and got one free agent. His name was Andre Iguodala. He wasn't a big superstar, but what he was he was a defensive player, he was a glue guy, and he was a team guy. They built a dynasty. They went on and won a championship that year. The next year, they broke the Bulls' all-time record for most wins ever in a season. But they didn't just do it with a couple people, the ball boys, the 12th man on the bench, the fans, the owner, Everybody was involved. They became so good that other players and other teams wanted to be a part of that culture. Kevin Durant, the league MVP, left his franchise to come be a part of it and won a couple championships. And it's not over, it's still going on. They just won the championship again this past year, their 4th in 8 seasons. They have become the model franchise in the NBA, just like Jacob Lamb said that they were going to. So his words were true, that he had to build it from the top to the bottom, and every single person in that organization counts. So what Kelly also did was, she went, after she got the leadership on hand, she went on and she said, now I need to get all the workers together. So she started doing stuff for them. She started saying, I'm gonna give bonuses out to the top 5 salespeople on the sales team. I'm gonna give bonuses out to the 5 top people on the maintenance team. I'm gonna give bonuses out to the 5 top people on the retention team. She put together Christmas events downtown, paid on the Christmas, paid for by the company. She gave away free Easter baskets to everybody in the company on Easter. This lady, even when she would leave, she would cook home-cooked meals and leave them out for the cleaners at night. She got everybody to stop fighting and got everybody on the same team. Because that's how you truly win. So the point of the message is teamwork equals dream work. It really does take everybody. If you have different people with different agendas within a team pulling in different directions, you can never truly win. Because to be a real champion, a real solid organization, it has to be like this. Bill Belichick wouldn't be Bill Belichick without Tom Brady. Steve Jobs without Steve Wozniacki. Bill Gates without Paul Allen. Tony Robbins without Dan Graziano. It doesn't matter if you're a business owner. It doesn't matter if you're an executive. It doesn't matter if you're a project manager. Every person on the team counts. So whoever you have under you, whether it's a secretary, whether it's data security, whether it's the security guard, it doesn't matter. Everybody should be on a team. That's how you win. Teamwork. I want to give a shout out to my grandmother, Madge Dawson. She passed away today. Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to come out and speak tonight. I appreciate the opportunity. Teamwork versus dream work.